It is high school football time in Arkansas, and I'm Chip Souza, joined by...
I'm on tape.
He still doesn't know who he is.
Rick Fires. Yeah, I'm Rick Fires.
And this is Prep Rally Live.
On tape.
He got it right.
Good.
He's getting better. It took 9 weeks, but he's got the on-tape part down, so we're getting good there. Ricky, one more week, and it is playoff time. But before we get there, we got to play Week 10.
Week 10, that's traditionally rivalry week. I think we still got some, but the schedule been jumbled up. I know Northside, I used to, when I was in Fort Smith, Northside, Southside was the game on Week 10. Now they're out of conference, they play that Week 1, but we still got some good games lined up.
Now what they used to say down the River Valley when they both still had real grass on their field, when they played real football like real men in the blood and the mud, and when the grass turns brown, Northside goes to town. That's what they said.
What did they say on the south side of town?
I don't know. They didn't have anything like that to us. So.
Okay.
But big games this week, Ricky,
yes.
For Week 10. And, of course, the big game, the game of the week I'm going to go to, the West Termite Pest Lawn. Game of the week will be at Wildcat Stadium at Springdale Harbor, where Harbor, now they've got some work to do, Ricky. They've got to have some help to get that number 2 seed, because there are 39 teams in the 7A West trying to get that number 2 seed right now. It's
you know what? And you can talk more about Harbor. You saw that big game last week with Rogers, but Fayetteville, they start off maybe 0-4. I mean, of course, they lost to some great teams. Conway,
They did.
Owasso.
Yes.
North Little Rock.
Yes.
They've slowly, surely, they won throughout the last 4.
They're kind of hitting their stride, Ricky, I think.
Stride. Yep, and I talked to Casey Dick. Of course, they got Caden over there at linebacker. They got Isaiah Satania.
Yep.
But the quarterback, he was telling me the quarterback, Fike, is really improved.
Yes.
Bladen Fike has really improved.
And that's been, I think, the big deal for them, Ricky, is that he has improved. He'd had some turnovers early in the
yep.
season, and they kind of got those taken care of, got that cleaned up a little bit, and now they've won 3 out of their last 4 games.
Yep, so Fayetteville's going to be fired up for this. Like you said, seeding is so important right now, even though everybody's going to get in the playoffs because of COVID. But, you know, this a lot determine if you stay here, if you have to travel to South Arkansas, you know, about in every class. You don't want to crisscross all over the country. You want to finish as high as you can to stay in your own bedroom, play on your own field.
Exactly. And of course, the 7A West, you know, they want to get the best matchup they can in that first round too. Nobody wants to play Bryant or North Little Rock or Conway in the first round. You know, you want to, or Cabot, also a very good team. So you want to have a higher seed if you can. Gives you a chance to win that first round playoff game. And once you win one, Ricky, it kind of creates that domino effect maybe, and you ride a little momentum. Weeks, 2, 3, 4. At the Big Mo, absolutely. So we talked about this a little bit on our podcast, and seedings are going to be a little wonky because.
Wonky? What does that mean?
Well, look it up. Wonky. It's in the dictionary.
Different.
It's Willy Wonky. It was a movie, wasn't it? Willy Wonky. So anyway, if every team chooses to get in the playoffs,
yes.
If Little Rock Southwest, which hasn't won the game, chooses to get in the playoffs, they can be in.
For the experience.
Yeah. So what that will do, Ricky, if all 16 teams in the 7A decide they're going to go, and they don't have to decide this until Saturday morning after Friday night's game.
Yeah.
But let's say if all 16 say they're going to get in, they want to get in, that eliminates the first round buys. So a Bentonville, being the number 1 seed from the 7A West, ordinarily would get a first round bye, and whoever gets the number 2 seed ordinarily would get a first round bye. They won't. So they'll play that first week. So
you know what? And a lot of coaches don't like the buys.
They don't.
Because it slows down. What are you talking about?
Big Mo, which we can spell. M-O. We can spell that right. Even I can spell that.
No E?
No E on the end. That's only the 3 Stooges. Yeah. So big games left to play. This is a big one I'm going to be at over at Harbor. Harbor's got to win. They've got to have Bentonville beat Bentonville West. What that would do is that would give Harbor 5 conference wins, and that's the number 1 determining factor for seeding is number of conference wins, because not all these teams have played the same number of conference games. So that's number 1. So that's a big one. Now, if West beats Bentonville, West gets that number 2 seed, and it doesn't matter what Harbor does, because West would have, they would have that 5th win, and they would get in. So then they would also have 1 loss, even though they lost to Harbor head-to-head. West would only have 1 loss. Harbor would have 2 losses. and it would give West at number 2. Let's not think about too much. My head's already.
Man, you're on a roll. I was thinking,
Yeah.
I'm like 3.
That's as far as I'm going.
Behind.
That's as far as I memorized from what Henry told me, or Walter Woody, or some of these other people who are much smarter. Not that that bar's that high, but real low than me. So that's a big game going on. But Rick, I think, in my opinion, and of course the opinion of a lot of other people, the best game in the state this week is going to be down near Hot Springs at Lake Hamilton, as Greenwood, undefeated, goes down to Lake Hamilton undefeated for the 6A West Championship.
Now, I haven't seen Lake Hamilton, but my goodness, I've seen a lot of Greenwood, and they look like the same as they always do. Pretty good defense, and they could score a ton of points. And, but people got to realize this conference is so spread out.
Yes.
To say West. Lake Hamilton way down there. So that's a tough drive if they go down to 71 and then go over to Y City.
They could go to Dallas and down through San Antonio and weave their way back through Beaumont and up that way. They could go that way.
I mean, they ain't no direct route down there, and but Greenwood, they know how to travel. They know how to win games on other people's field. So I expect Greenwood to go down there and win that.
Ricky, I keep going back to what you said a few weeks ago. This was actually very intelligent. I was so stunned that you said this. I still have a hard time wrapping my mind. Somebody had to be talking in your ear where you said,
if it's pretty good, I got to write it down.
Someone asked you what's the difference between Greenwood this year and last year, and you said
nothing.
Nothing. See, that's all he had to say. Nothing.
See, that's
brilliant.
Kidneys.
It's brilliant.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Nothing.
Nothing's
Even
different.
though they got a
and
new
you're right.
coach.
And you're right. Nothing is different.
Yeah.
They're still banging heads. This is
still
what
banging.
Greenwood does.
This is what they do.
They bang heads.
November.
Yes.
November, when a lot of y'all going to basketball or playing soccer and all that, Greenwood's still playing football.
Still playing football.
They're still chasing that trophy or that flag. So
yes.
No surprise, Greenwood.
No surprise. So Rick,
Playoffs.
this will be a good one. You mentioned Greenwood able to put a lot of points on. Lake Hamilton, same thing. They've been scoring in the 40s and 50s, so it should be a great game down there. Henry is going to go down there Friday. He's going to go down and cover the cross country over at Oak Lawn. He's loading up and he told me he's going through St. Louis and down through Memphis, get some barbecue, all the way down to New Orleans, get him some Cajun food, working his way back up to Lake Hamilton. So by next Thursday, Henry should be there.
All right.
So he's going down to Hot Springs, cover a little cross country. Then he's going to go over to Lake Hamilton, cover a little football, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, he'll make his way back up here. So should be some good.
That's pretty impressive. He can go from one sport to another on consecutive days. I can't do that.
That's Henry. He can cover 3 or 4 sports in one day.
I can do that.
He's way above us. That's Henry. That's what he can do. So got some good games going on in the lower classifications. We had some teams who clinched last week in the 3A1. Charleston, Rick, a team that they weren't favored to win the 3A1, and Charleston read Hooten's magazine and said, "Whoa,
Cedarville?
what?
What's this?
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Wait a minute.
What?
They don't they know who we are?"
Yeah, we the Tigers.
And they said, "Okay, Hootens."
They put the Pirates ahead of the Tigers?
Okay, Hooten, we're going to go out and show you. And you know what, Rick? They did. So they won the 3A1, got that locked down.
Nothing against Cedarville.
No, or Greenland, the team that's going to be the number 2 seed that's in that conference. That's right.
So this is our throne.
That's right. So, and again, no surprise, Rick, we talked about this. Paris, what a great season they've had. They were 8-0 going into last week. Guess who came in last week, Rick? We talked about this. Boonville came in. Now,
Boonville Bearcats.
But I tell you what, though, it was a great game. 28-21. Yep. Paris, man, this is a team, I think they could make some noise in the playoffs, Rick. They got some, listen.
How much noise? Like a little bit?
I don't know. All I know is Paul Boyd's doing a feature story on one of their players. I think he's 6'9", 417 pounds. This kid's huge. Jimmy Dykeman, almost Jimmy Dykes, but Jimmy Dykeman. Kid's huge.
Look forward to that.
It took 2 pages to get his whole picture in the paper.
He's a big old boy then,
That's
right?
a big old boy.
All right.
So they got some big size down at Paris, so I think he's Paris, hey, much props to them. They are a much improved team. But Boonville, the 1 seed out of there, Paris going to be the number 2 seed. Moved up to the 4A, where Shiloh Christian had wrapped up the number 1 seed in the 4A1. 4A4, where we've got Ozark and those type teams. Mena looks like they're going to be the number 1 seed out of that conference. So good year for them. The Bearcats, so good for them. The 5A West was wrapped up with Harrison winning. You know what? People thought Harrison wasn't going to be as good this year, Rick. Guess what? They couldn't have been wronger.
No, wronger.
Couldn't have been wronger.
I was
That's
really
a word,
wronger.
by the way.
I was really wronger. Yeah.
That's a word. That's a
man,
real word.
what a good program they've got going up there.
Good
now.
deal. So that took care of the 5A. Then we jumped up to the 6A where we talked about Lake Hamilton, Greenwood. The winner will be the 1 seed. The loser will be the number 2 seed. The 7A Central, Bryant, and we don't need to talk about anybody else.
Right. No.
So there you go. North Little Rock, they're a good team. You see what Bryant did to them? They're still scoring down there at Bryant, I believe.
I know.
So, that
But
is a
that's
juggernaut.
one reason I'm looking for the playoffs, because we got our Bentonville Tigers
That's right.
up here.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
That's right. So we're getting close to that. And Rick, you know what? I'm just happy that they're playing.
Yeah, we can't. You know what? At one point, like you said over and over, June, July, maybe early August, we didn't know we was going to have. And here
No,
we
sir.
are, week 10. We've got not every team will have 10 games, but some will.
Right.
And so this is a good. I'm just glad they got here.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's doing their part for
Yes,
the
sir.
kids. So let's go. We still got some more football
Yes,
to go.
sir. So, Ricky, let's talk about this. We in the summer we didn't know if we'd have anything because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
So
we didn't know we have a job.
Exactly.
Thank you, kids.
Yes, COVID-19 and all that we're still battling with.
Yeah.
But golf had a season that had a championship. Tennis had a season, had a championship. Volleyball didn't know if they were going to play. They got their season in, got their championship.
Yeah.
Cross country got their season. They're going to have their championship. Now it's football time. The playoffs are going to start next week. Happy for that. Got basketball that's already started for some of the small schools, and everybody else will be starting in a couple weeks. So, Ricky, props to the Arkansas government, props to the Arkansas Activity Association, props to all these school administrators, the athletic directors, coaches, but more importantly, to the kids. Props to them.
Yep.
We've had speed bumps, sure we've had cancellations. That's okay. They've moved through it. They're learning how to navigate with it. Now let's just keep moving forward. Not every school is going to get to have memories of hoisting a state championship at War Memorial, and that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. They're getting memories of just getting to play because last spring these teams got that taken away from them. And we've learned from it.
Especially, man, the championships in the basketball.
Exactly.
Man. Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
You
And so,
feel for them kids. Still, 7 months later, you hate it for them.
Yes. So props to them, and let's just keep moving forward one step at a time. You deal with these bumps as you come to them. Move past it. Keep moving forward. Keep progressing. Because we want these kids to have these memories. We don't care about anything else.
Don't care about anything
Nothing else. We want these kids to have these high school memories because they deserve it. They've earned it and they deserve it. So put your mask on.
I've got it right here.
Sit where you're supposed to sit.
I'd sit right here.
Handle your business.
Yeah, you can help me with that.
Do what you're supposed to do and let these kids have their day. So, Rick, that's all I got. Any words of wisdom? Oh, wait, never mind. I know where that's going to go. No words of wisdom.
See?
So we will be back next week, and we're going to talk playoff football, Ricky.
Man, I'm ready for
We're going to talk playoff football. Deer chili time, playoff football time. It's Halloween is past. I thought I told you to take your mask off. You didn't have to wear it this week.
I mean, I kind of grows on you, doesn't it?
Kind of grows on you.
Yeah.
So that's all we got for this week. This has been Prep Rally live
On tape.
on tape. We'll see you next week.